Welcome back to Suzuka, where we're about to get underway for race 2, the first of the reverse grid races. This is just a warm-up session while we get everything ready for the race. I'm delighted to say that we've got Brad Philpott in the commentary box with us, our driver steward for this evening. Brad, how's everyone behaving out there?
It's actually extremely well behaved. Thanks, commentary team. Yeah, we only had a couple of incidents to investigate, or a couple that I was asked to investigate. One after the race, and everything inconclusive, so no penalties dished out for race 1.
We also have Spanners in here with us. Hello, Spanners.
Oh, I'm so pleased that our race 1, our feature race, had such good driving standards. You know, we worked so hard on it. We put a driver brief out, and then we look at the practice sessions, look for crunch points, and kind of just lay the law down. So what I've been trying to say to everyone, Chris, is, be a good sim citizen. And if you take someone out, that should be like, oh no, I can't believe it, that's ruined my night. And we can't cattle prod them yet, Chris, so we're doing what we can.
Now, of course, you were the top panelist going into this race, but unfortunately, Kyle's outscored you in that last one. So you're gonna gone back at him in this one?
The annoying thing is, I think I might have Kyle on ultimate pace here, so we'll see. I mean, it's all about surviving turn 1 and then survive the S's. And then I think it's fair to say that some of the reverse grid's top runners will fall by the wayside. I hope I'm not one of them. And then it's a case of seeing, all right, when the Hennies and the Harrisons come through, what do you do?
So John Langan on pole position ahead of Alex Van Gien. Colton Myers will start third ahead of Andrew Sexton. Adam Rosales ahead of Richard Spanners ready on the third row of the grid. Jose O'Donnell there in 7th place. Chris Foskett in 8th. Colin Ward and Alex McBride. That completes your top 10. And then we're into the top 10 from the last race. So Lucas Raskovitz in his familiar black and gold car in 11th place there ahead of Stephen Williams and Alex Dronsma. Tim Ellis and Alexander Dobbetsberger, after late dramas for him, starts 15th. And 16th there for David Hatton, Kyle Power, Luca Harrison, Brian Boomsma, and Danny Henney. That is your top 20. Just starting outside of the top 20 there is Richard Molden in the familiar lime green number 69 car, and away they go. So it's Langan who leads the field. Van Gien didn't get the best of starts there. It looks like he's having to defend from Colton Myers on the way down into turn 1, but it's Langan in the silver and blue car that leads the field away ahead of Alex Van Gien. Colton Myers in the purple car just keeping ahead of Andrew Sexton as they make their way into the S's. Once again, a very clean and orderly start there.
It was, and all the way back to Henny. That said, Henny has just punted. I think it might well be, I'm not sure who that is actually, but he's caused absolute chaos. He just ran into the back of him, and he might have sustained some front wing damage.
Well, an uncharacteristic there perhaps from Danny Henney, and not what his championship challenge needed at all. Up at the front of the field, there is a big bottleneck forming behind John Langan already. It's Van Gien is really looking to try and find a way past. Had to check up massively on the way into the Degners, and it's Langan to the inside at the hairpin. Sexton and Myers side by side behind them, and Myers just dropped it out of the hairpin in the purple car, and everyone has to avoid him. Most of them do so, and that's created a bit of a gap between the top 2 and the rest of the field. But Van Gien now looks like he's going for the lead down into Spoon Corner. He has got the lead. Down the inside he goes. And Langan, can he reclaim that position with the big slipstreaming opportunity coming up down the straight? Away they go, and Langan once again, he pops out of the slipstream, and it's going to be side by side towards 130R. Sexton and Rosales side by side behind them as well, and Van Gien in the inside of 130R. Can he repel John Langan and hold on to the lead of this race? He can, just about. Behind them, Rosales gets up the inside of Sexton. He puts himself into 3rd place now. So at the end of lap 1, sorry Chris, just at the end of lap 1 there, it's Van Gien doing exactly what he needed to. It is half a second is his advantage as he comes across the line.
Yep, and if there's one driver who is a master of defensive driving, it's Alex Van Gien. So now he's got himself into the lead of the race from lap 1. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can hold on to it.
The defensive work is not over for John Langan in 2nd place there. He's now got Rosales all over the back of him, who's had a cracking start to this race. And Rosales is no stranger to the podium. He has scored a few in his time in the Missed Apex Esports franchise. Not in the Formula 3 Cup, I believe. They mostly came in the Formula Renault days. but he is now looking at the back of John Langan, then a bit of a gap back to Sexton. Spanners there in 5th place as well. Chris Foggett in 6th. O'Donnell 7th. Ward, Williams and McBride's the top 10 at the moment. Crucially, though, most of the key players from race 1, your Jonesworths, your Ellises, your Harrisons and your Powers, have gotten away cleanly.
They have, and you might have expected them to make a little bit more progress through the field in the first lap, but actually it was a little bit messy on that in the S's, so they didn't quite get through as much as they'd want, and it is trickier to pass here than it was at Interlagos, so don't expect them to be challenging for the podium until right at the end, I think.
Yeah, well said. We have certainly seen it. It's been more of a struggle. It was in the Formula Renault days as well for the top guys to get back through the order on the reverse grid races. And struggle as well for these top guys to try and break formation as well, as Langan's still got a queue of cars behind him in 2nd place there, although I think Rosales is about to break that train. It's Langan on the inside of the chicane now. Sexton thinking about a move as well. That could give Spanners an opportunity as well, and side by side for 2nd place though, as Langan just about holds the advantage over Rosales as they exit the chicane, and defending down the inside once again is the number 98 car. Can Rosales go all the way around the outside? We're about to find out. Oh, it was very close on the turn in there, and still they are not breaking formation. Sexton goes out wide behind them, but Rosales now looks like he's about to take 3rd place. Langan's not taking it lying down though. He keeps his nose in there, side by side through the S's, and that is brave stuff between these guys.
And all of that squabbling has given Van Gien a 2.5, nearly 3 second lead out in front. So this is perfectly working out for him. That was great action there through the S's, very clean.
And it's put Spanners right on the back of them. Don't count out Spanners for a podium place in this race. We're on lap 3 of 9. So we're just coming up to 1/3 distance already in this one. Van Gien, as you said, pulling away and could well be on for a maiden victory in the Formula 3 Cup. A big lock up there from Rosales as he got himself a little bit booked up on the way into the hairpin. So it's Rosales in 2nd now ahead of Langan, and they have gapped Spanners just ever so slightly. Rosales still not finished defending though from Langan, so it's still very much game on between these two.
He did, and Langan made him take a slightly tighter line into Spoon. That's given him a run down the back straight. He's still going to have to go defensive into the chicane.
Absolutely. We'll see what opportunity Spanners can get as well. Just waiting patiently in the wings there, but Langan's looking very close in 3rd place there. Can he throw one up the inside of the chicane? He thinks better of it. And Langan, I think he got himself a little bit crossed up there in the chicane, because look how close Spanners is now behind them. Spanners could well find himself in a podium place very soon, as Langan is once again finding himself on the dirty side of the racetrack. And behind them, big contact there between O'Donnell and Sexton. Carnage in the middle of the straight there as Spanners goes through into 3rd place. But an incident on the start-finish straight there. That was very odd.
It was. I'm sure our driver steward Bradley Philpott will be involved in that one.
Yep, and just checking to see how many people made it through. I'll tell you what, that's a bit of an open gift to our front runners from race 1 as they're trying to make their way through the field, because that's put Williams up in 6th ahead of Jones, Manhattan, Power and Ellis, all inside the top 10 now. Luca Harrison struggling to get through the pack quite as quickly. He is in 13th. Danny Henney is still running though, so he did not pit crucially after that lap 1 contact. He is in 14th place.
I'm just looking back at the incident. So we had Jose O'Donnell. It looked like he was just in the slipstream right alongside, who was that? He was alongside in the 98 Jordan car. That was Andrew Sexton. He just moved across, didn't see him in his blind spot, and just made massive contacts wheel to wheel, and then took out a good few people behind them.
Well, that is unfortunate for them, and I'm sure Brad will be taking a look at that one up in the steward's room. Back up at the front of the field, Spanners ready, having taken 3rd place at the start of this lap. Now is staring down the back of 2nd place, Adam Rosales, and look towards the inside. He is making that move. Rosales tries to brave it out, and Spanners has to think better of it. And can he get the run out of the chicane this time, though? We said Spanners was going to fight back in the power for the top panelist in this race. He's certainly doing so at the moment and is potentially on course for a maiden podium here. Is he looking right down the inside? And that is brave stuff, but it may well have just cost him a place there to John Langan, our pole sitter, who's gone round the outside. Rosales dipping a wheel onto the grass, but he is able to keep in line with the circuit, and Langan has got through and back ahead of Spanners.
Don't think we've had two of our panelists on the podium sharing the podium together. Spanners there, he doesn't seem to want to head to the outside. He wants to get the inside line, but that may not necessarily be the preferred line for overtaking, and he is now coming under increasing pressure from Foskett and Williams behind.
Absolutely, there's a bit of a queue forming now. All this is music to the ears of Alex Van Gien, whose advantage is now 5 seconds up at the front of the field. But this queue of cars all battling over second place. And look who's arriving on the scene, Stephen Williams and Alex Jonesma. And they're not too far behind them is Hatton and Power as well. So they will be in this fight before the end of the race. We're on lap 5 of 9 of this top 20 reverse grid race in round 2 of the Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup at Suzuka.
Speaking of Hatton and Power, so fight over 8th and 9th place, that is spicing up nicely. Power took a little lunge or a little look into Spoon, made nothing of it. Coming back to Spanners, he's under massive pressure, and actually second and third is going as well, Chris.
Yeah, Rosales has got Langan up on his inside, and Langan, having looked to be falling down the order at one point, now finds himself back in second place. So he's demoted Rosales there to third place. Spanners was just able to hang on to the position from Chris Foskett there in the 611 yellow car behind them. But look at Williams and Jonesman now on the scene, and this is a big battle pack now, all squabbling over second place.
Yeah, all of this fighting is definitely keeping them very close. Through the S's here, they're all following very, very closely. No one's made any big errors, and this is keeping them nice and close.
Absolutely, it's what we like to see. So no way through in that first sector, and still very much follow the leader through the two Degners here. But I wonder if anyone will have a dive up the inside at the hairpin. There's been very toing and froing and the head of this pack between Langan, Rosales and Spanners, and now adding to the queue Hatton, Power, Ellis, Harrison as well. So the top guys from race 1, they're about to arrive on the scene and perhaps start carving their way through. Up on the inside, Stephen Williams there in 6th place, had a look on Chris Foskett there into Spoon, but had to get out of it, as he was not going to make that one stick. And he's now got Jonesma for very close company as they head down the back straight. So what turned into a potential overtake has now become a defending mission for Stephen Williams, as Jonesma was up on the inside there at 130R, had to back out of it. He was not far enough alongside, and Williams still not done there with Foskett, as he has to... Oh, they bang wheels with Jonesma there. Hatton goes through. Hopefully Jonesma has been able to avoid contact there, but I think Foskett was just a little slower into the chicane than Williams was expecting. He had to check up, and that caused problems between Hatton and Jonesma behind them.
Up at P2, Rosales is going to the outside into turn 1.
And he's made it stick round the outside. He goes and he reclaims second place. This battle is absolutely enthralling. Langan's not finished. He's coming back at him round the outside of turn 3. That's brilliant, brilliant racing.
Yeah, and they checked each other up, so Spanners has got his nose right in there as well. He's going to look for a sniff. Now, what do you do, Chris, if you're Spanners in P4? Do you go for glory towards the end of the race and try and get on the podium, or do you settle for a decent points haul?
If I was Spanners, I would go for it, but that's just me. Spanners has erred on the side of caution more often than not, but this season we've really seen him get his elbows out, so I hope he continues to do the same. So this pack of cars, absolutely brilliant stuff. I'm amazed we haven't seen any kind of major incident. That little wheel bang between Williams and Jones was about as aggressive as it's been so far. So lap 7 of 9, 2.5 remaining in this one. It's still a question mark as to who's going to end up on the podium in this race. Still Jonsma and Williams in 6th and 7th there are going so close. And Jonsma up the inside of Spoon Corner this time, and I think he was more forced into that than anything else. His power goes out wide behind them, but Jonsma through into 6th place now, and that's just cost him a little bit of momentum there on Foskett, and Williams coming back at him. David Hatton in there as well, 3 wide towards 130R. Let's see how this one pans out, boys. It's Hatton on the inside. He takes 2 places in 1 move.
And just ahead of them, Spanner's put it on the inside of 130R. He has taken that 3rd place back. What a fantastic move. Drillsma goes up the inside of Williams, nearly taps his rear corner, but manages to avoid it. And Power's getting involved in there down the inside too.
Yeah, Power now up on the inside in 9th place there on Luca Harrison. He overtakes the Bumblebee car, as it were, down the straight, and Spanner's in 3rd place there. Still not finished, though, in the battle for the podium. He's still watching the mirrors. He's watching the front wing in front of him as well for John Langan. That was a brilliant move that he had to make there. He went all the way around the outside of the chicane as well to make it work, and now he's got his eyes set on 2nd place John Langan, who started this race on pole position in the reverse grid, don't forget.
I think if Spanners can get Langan, he might be able to pull away. He's got the pace, but he's got to get it done fairly shortly because there are some fast guys coming up through the pack, Hatton and Williams, and even Power in P9. He's got to see if he can get some daylight. Absolutely.
I'd say Hatton is probably the top guy that's higher up at the minute, if that makes sense. So in 6th place there. So far, nobody's been able to depose Chris Foskett from that 5th place spot. Oh no, contact once again between Williams and Dronsma, and this time it did look a little bit more serious, as once again Dronsma is facing the wrong way, this time at the hairpin, and after his calamities in race 1, that is certainly not the end of this race he wanted to see. Meanwhile, David Hatton's about to take 5th place around the outside of Spoon Corner. Nobody's been able to get past Foskett so far in this race. Hatton's giving it a go now. He's still having to go the long way round, and they're still side by side as they come out of the corner, but I think Hatton has just cut across the nose now.
And ahead, Spanners is going again on the inside of 130R. This is going to be so close between these two.
Spanners is pulling out all the stops here, and it's brave stuff. We love to see it, and he's going to have to go all the way around the outside of the chicane once again. Things better up. Rosales almost went into the back of him there, as we see the back marker getting out of the way at the chicane, and so we could well see a change for 2nd place here. Spanners is about to make the move. He's in the slipstream. Down the straight we go. Can't even see Alex Van Gien out to the front of the field. He's too far gone, but Spanners ready. Round the outside of turn 1. We've seen him make it work a couple of times. He gets around the outside, takes 2nd place. Langan once again will not take it lying down, and is going to fight back. He has made it around the outside of turn 3 a couple of times already in this race. He's done it once again. We're now on the final lap of this race, and Spanners is very quickly going to run out of opportunities to get himself into 2nd place.
He has, and he's got to be careful of that last lap dive, because we've got Rosales closing in again as they fight, so it is not over yet. We don't want him to lose that 3rd place, as behind them, Foskett and Hatton still going at it.
Spanners just a little wide out of Dunlop corner, just a bit of understeer, but I think he's regained the momentum through the Degners as Foskett and Hatton still battling away for 5th place, as you mentioned. Langan tight towards the inside. Spanners, be careful! You've got a Rosales up the inside of the hairpin there. Great awareness, the big contact behind them. I think that was O'Donnell again getting involved as he's tumbling down my timing screen. But all eyes on 2nd place as Spanners is lining up the move once again, and Hatton and Foskett, you don't know which way to look as they're fighting as well behind them. All eyes on 2nd place still, though. Rosales could be in the pound seat here. He's still in the slipstream, so it's which way is it going to go? We're about to find out on the final lap as Spanners is right in that slipstream. I don't think he's quite close enough, Chris, to take the position away. It's going to be a late braking manoeuvre down into the chicane. Van Gien's about to come across the line to win the race, but Spanners going round the outside of the chicane. This is for 2nd place on the final lap. Spanners has done it. He's got through into 2nd place. Langan down to 3rd, and Spanners takes a brilliant 1st podium in this championship.
What a move on the final lap. That was absolutely incredible.
That is just epic racing, and exactly the stuff we love to see in this championship. Spanners ready. Take a bow, sir. That is your 1st podium in this championship. John Langan equally a 1st podium as well. Spanners, we've got you here.
What a fight.
That was incredible. And we also have Alex Van Gien, who takes his first win and also shares the first double missed Apex podium.
Oh my god. I've never been so happy to screw up the first race in my life. That was mega. That was, to be fair, it was relatively easy because John kind of gave me room, and then that lot just looked like they were fighting. I was watching their gap more than I was watching what I was doing. Had to keep telling myself to concentrate a few times, but oh my god, I was so happy with that.
And Spanners, you were...
I thought I was on mute before. I was cheering and whooping. I'm very, very
Yeah, we
happy,
heard.
but the standard of the fights that I had to have to get there, that's the most incredible thing. Hats off to Langdon and Rosales. Amazing racing.